Okay, this is going to be one of two videos showing my install. I'm going to start with some pictures to show what I was working with. So this is the new Extrons units with the old original stereo underneath and the new wiring harness. You can tell that's a bigger box right there. Sorry. You can see down here are the 3 USB cables. My RCA cables for the red box. Here there are 5 connections. This one is just an antenna. I believe that's the one that has the loop back, and that would be going to the stereo. I think it has loop back. Then there's those 2, and this one just has a single wire, but I was able to find where that fit. I did double check to make sure all these 3 connections are secure. And of course, I also made sure it was going to the bottom of the bottom connection of the units and the top for power. Real quick, I did double check. I do still have my display working correctly. Oh, there we go, in frame. So yeah, that is working correctly. Also, my volume up and down is working. The forward and back isn't, but volume up and down is. I have a question about that later. My air conditioner works. My hazard lights work. Pretty much everything works. I'm doing a little troubleshooting, and I have some questions at the end of this video. But the main issue is just that I'm not getting audio out of the car speakers. Let me go ahead and go to the next picture. So this is the original unit, or original screen on the right, and the new one on the left. This is the original radio. That model number is P1839. This is the back of the original screen, so you can see which connections it has. The ones with no pins, they look more kind of like serial ports. Those obviously didn't have a connection for the new wiring harness. And I did wonder about this one right here. That gray one, it has a single pin in the middle of a square. There's also a blue one exactly like that, that connects to the original stereo. Both are unplugged. I didn't know if there's a way to use those or not, and I don't know if that happens to be the failure. But yeah. So this is the back of the original screen. This is the back of the original radio, the P1839. There's only 3 connections. That's the power, audio, pretty much everything. This is that blue connection I mentioned, where it's just a single pin in there in the center. I'm not sure what it's for. It almost looks like optical, but it's a metal pin, so I know it's not. And that's just the antenna connection, which I plugged into the new wiring harness. This is a picture that I took, I think yesterday. This is the top of the red box after it's installed. These 2 lights are solid. So you see one red, one green. And if you look at it, the red one is on the side with the majority of the wires. The green one is more in the middle with that black plug that's in the middle. I think it has 4 wires coming out. Okay, let's see what else I had here. This is the front of the box. I tried to tilt it up a little bit, and I'll try again in the video. And like I said, the 2 lights are solid. It's just one red, one green. I haven't seen a third light. I don't know if you guys have another bulb in there or not. But there's no labels to say what those lights mean. I did have a question. The person I'm corresponding with from Amazon, the seller for this wiring harness, he said I don't use the AmpCon because of this new wiring harness. I saw on YouTube other people, when they do aftermarket amplifiers, they say you do need it because it turns on the amp and that gets you the sound. And even if everything is connected except for that one wire, they say you'll never get sound because the amp is not getting a signal to turn on. And it's a normal 12 volt wire according to the people on YouTube for other installs, not for Android head units, but for amplifier installs in general. But yeah, the guy I'm talking to on Amazon said that I don't need that. So for now, it's just sitting up here loose somewhere. And everything that has a tip to protect the metal thing still has a tip on it, of course. These are some questions I had. First thing, I did want to point out that I did confirm I have audio coming out of the front out. I tested it with headphones, and sounds great with headphones, but of course I can't drive with headphones. But I do know for sure I am at least getting the audio out of the front out wires. The questions I have were, supposedly I'm supposed to be able to use the aux from the original radio, but I don't know how, because the original radio is no longer connected to anything. They say you connect the aux to the other aux, so the aux from the head unit to the aux on the wiring harness, and that gets me the aux from the original radio, which is back here in my glove box, or not glove box, my center console. But again, this has no power at all, because it's the upgraded harness for the Lexus convertible one that had a screen already. The upgraded harness doesn't have a cable that connects to the original radio, so it can't act as the man in the middle. Instead, it acts as a replacement. That's why nothing is connected to the original radio at all. Like CD player doesn't light up, nothing, because nothing's plugged to it. So yeah, I was wondering if there is a way to use this again, but I don't see how there would be. Another question I have, is there a software update for the air conditioner so I can use the cabin filter? Normally on these options for head units in the United States, there's a button. It looks similar to this, but it's not that one, and it'll show a little vertical thing with the arrows going through it. That symbol means airflow going through the cabin filter. That cabin filter happens to be in there. But yeah, so I was just wondering if there's a software update so I can have that option in the AC user interface. I know I've seen it on YouTube where other people have it, but I don't know how they got that software update. Every once in a while, there are some people that just say email me, but I don't want to email a stranger off the internet. I'd rather go straight to the source from you guys. Another question I have is, how do I reset the side blue buttons? These buttons here. I accidentally made them unusable when I was playing with the button mapping. I was trying to change the button mapping here, and I accidentally turned them off here. So as you see, when I press home, it doesn't go to the home screen. Like, none of these work anymore. And I know it's because I did a remapping thing, so I know it can be reset. But when I go to the resetting option, nothing changes. So I'm kind of curious about that. If there's a way I can reset it without using that hard reset button with the safety pin. I haven't used that yet. Oh yeah, and the other question is, how do I get to the button mapping for everything? As in for these buttons. I accidentally got to it once, but I don't know how to get back to it. And the last thing I had here was, just wanted to point out the wires, and I'm going to show them to you in a second video. This one's almost over. I wanted to show you what I currently have connected from the original head unit, from this head unit here. There are 6 wires out, 3 pairs. The 2 front, that I confirmed these 2 front are working when I connect them with headphones. They connect to the audio in, to the wiring harness. The rear out, they're not connected to anything. The auxiliary connect to the other auxiliary that come from the wire harness. And then of course those audio ins, as I mentioned, connect to the front outs from the head unit. So that's all the wiring. I believe, yeah, that's everything I have. As I mentioned from the AC, this is my menu. And I was wondering if there's, 2 questions. How can I change it from Celsius to Fahrenheit? In the US, we use Fahrenheit, and we suck at math, so it's hard to tell what it is in Celsius that we want. So I wanted to ask, how can I turn that to Fahrenheit? And also, as I mentioned earlier, I don't have a button to send the air through the air filter. These two are defrosters for the back and for the front, but it'll look similar to this. It will just look horizontal, left to right. Is the button I'm missing to have the air go through the air filter. And I think there's just a couple more things real quick in the settings I wanted to show you. Sorry, I tried to keep this under 10 minutes, but looks like I failed. Yes, I have that memorized by now. I turned off things I don't use, like mirroring and DLNA, but you can see what I have currently here. These are my radios. Again, we're in North America, so I use the up to 107.9. Voice, I left them all at 10. I don't know if I need to play with these or not. For CAN bus, this is what I have for the CAN bus. Originally, this was set to 06 Lexus ISL, and they suggested I change it to H. I've seen that on some YouTube videos also. When things don't work, you can move it from L to H, but that didn't do anything for me. I had to swap the front door because by default, I think overseas, not in the US, the steering wheel is usually on the other side. So when I opened the driver's side, it showed that passenger side was open when really it's the driver's side. So I just swapped that real quick. I was wondering what this air conditioner does. Is normal, swap, and hide. I'm guessing I don't want to hide the controls for the AC. So maybe swap is for the two knobs from the driver's side here and passenger side here. I don't know, but I'm just curious about that. And the back door, I just went ahead and clicked hide because this is a two-door car. We don't have a back door. The key study. So here I learned the hard way how this works. Apparently the touch reset, if I click on that, when I click on that and it resets it, whenever I clicked on the left side with my finger, it'll click on the right side. So it flips left to right. Not up and down, but it flips left to right. And then I had to use touch key study to actually map it out with one corner there and then one corner there, and then apply and exit. So I learned that. I tried hitting the quick panel reset, hoping it would fix these, but nothing changed. And when I click the panel key study, this is all it gives me. Just a reset option and a save exit option. I don't know if I'm not waiting long enough, but at some point I did have something pop up here once. That was what I mentioned came up on accident. And I don't know how it came up, but it's not coming up now. So I don't know. So I just hit back. Again, since these buttons aren't working, I hit save and exit this time. Screen, I left everything normal. Other, I don't believe I changed anything here. But these are my settings for other. I was curious about the steering wheel key assign. I was wondering how that works. I got disable, SWC key, and CAN key. If anyone could tell me, what those mean, that would be really cool. I think that might be about it. I don't know what the knob mode means. If anyone could tell me what that means, that'd be pretty cool. The amp volume, I never changed it. It says 0 dB or decibels. So I don't know if I'm supposed to change something there or not. Rear panel, I don't know if that's for a second screen, but I don't have a second screen. I just left it on yes, or maybe I turned it to yes, I'm not sure. And that's about it. Sorry if it was kind of long. Oh, real quick to show you my confirmation, for the audio. Let me just go to real quick to my, where's the music's down here. This is just some music I put on a flash drive and then I copied over to the unit. This should be playing sound. You see I'm turning the volume up and we don't hear anything. Yeah, that should be playing sound. Again, whenever I connected it to the front, I don't think we're gonna get it right now until I take the radio out, but whenever I connect headphones there, this does work. So I know the front cables coming out works, and I tested it with the radio, which apparently is still analog frequency, but that's okay because I got iHeartRadio. They do radio broadcasting here in the US, so I can get a digital feed, so there's no static there. And I tested audio works when I play Pandora, Spotify, Everything basically works. This traffic safety thing's kind of finicky, but there's no update. I updated it once, but there's no further update after that. Besides that, I'm just kind of playing with things that options in here. I don't remember what Carbit link was, but I don't think I used that because I'm using this Android unit. I'm not using it. I'm not using the new display to connect to my phone at all. Only for internet. But I'm not using Android Auto or Apple CarPlay. I just want this to be a standalone thing. And that should be it. Oh yeah, I'm a little old. It shows my age, but I grew up with Napster. I think that's about it. Yeah, that's the radio station that should be playing right now, but it's kind of not. Okay, sorry this was 16 minutes long, and I'll have a second video, should be a lot shorter, when I take it out and show you what's connected there. Alright, thank you.